What's up, VC? This is a long overdue video, but it's still 2022, so that's the good news. I wanted to do the youngest members of the VC 2022 vinyl tag. I did this video a couple of weeks ago, but I kept stumbling over the words. So I wanted to get this. I wanted to get this out there for you guys. So I think you'll like my picks. It's the youngest members of the VC are Marican, Dylan, Michael, Jenna, and there's a fifth one. But anyway, they're the youngest people in the VC, just like it says. There's also Rob Walker vinyl tag. And then there's a third vinyl tag too, but it doesn't come to mind right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this, and I hope you enjoy. First off, we have your favorite pickup from a trip. I had to do two because both of these were really cool finds. So first one from Ashland, Kentucky, last year I believe in the summertime. Original Johnny Cash, Sun record. As far as I can tell, this is the first or second pressing. I believe it's the first pressing. If you know Johnny Cash, this is the first LP he ever released. From 1956 or 1957. Just one moment here. The second one is, the other one right there. So, from Riverbend Records in Godfrey, Illinois. Oh, that was from Time Warp, that last one. Time Warp is a video game and music and hobby toy shop in Ashland, Kentucky. I got this in July of 2021. Dust. Anybody who's not familiar with Dust, this is early heavy rock, hard rock from '71. And it is best known for being Marky Ramone, or as his real name is Mark Bell. His first band. And right there, Mark Bell. Right there. Next, 71. This is really heavy, proggy. They had two albums. They had one in 71 and they had one in 72. Still looking for the one from 72. It's a little bit harder to come by. But if you guys can ever want to ever check out Billy Hurst's shop, I encourage it. It's right across the river. It's about 35 minutes from St. Louis, Missouri. But definitely worth it. He curates records really well. I mean, this record is not in perfect condition, but it's playable. It's barely audible, the scratches. And you can see the sleeve, or the thing that the record goes in. And I put a polyline inside my inside the paper sleeve. If you get the rice paper ones, you can do that. It won't harm it at all. So yeah, from 71, from Riverbend Records. If you check out my channel, you see me wearing his shirt from there, Billy Hurst. Go check out that channel if you don't know it. Number 3, favorite country album. Or number 2. Number 2. Favorite Third Man record release. I do like Third Man Records. I don't know a ton about it. If I could ever find a good deal on the Raconteurs, Jack White's album after he left the White Stripes, I would definitely like to get that. But I don't have any Third Man. The best I can do is Third Man worked with Sun Records a lot, as you saw the Johnny Cash one. This is Sunrise on the Blues, Sun Recordings, curated by Record Store Day Volume 7. And I kept doing the shrink because it looks good that way, I think. This is a compilation of blues and rhythm and blues from the early to mid 50s. And that's the best connection I can make since I don't have any since I don't have any Third Man record releases. And it's presented by Tito's. There's the Modern Sun label. Handcrafted vodka. Really good compilation if you want to get into early rock and roll and blues. Really good compilation. Next up, we got number 3, his favorite country album. I don't have a ton of country. I have Loretta Lynn. I have her sister Peggy Sue, which is her younger sister. She also had a sister, Crystal Gale, who's, I think she started doing music just around the time that Loretta Lynn did. I also have a couple Jerry Reed's. This is from 1972. Oh, What a Woman. It's really good. Unfortunately, somewhat warped. I had to put stuff in storage 2 summers ago, and still plays fine on the Dynaflex 72, yep. RCA. Best songs on here, Oh What a Woman, and Take a Walk. Yeah, Take a Walk is a good one. Guitar Man, that's always a good one. And Today is Mine. So, here you go. Jerry Reed, or Jerry Reed Hubbard, 1972. Number 4 is Suggestion for the youngest members of the VC. From 1972, you can't get much more obscure than this. But it's good obscure. It's not, it's heavy. It's sometimes catchy. It's proggy. It's psychedelic. Let's see if you can read the sticker there. Green-Eyed God by Still Mill. This is like around the time of Sabbath. This came out this was a UK band. They put out this one album. There's actually a few bonus tracks on here. And it's done on the label Trading Places. This is like Sabbath and Jethro Tull all mixed into one. Heavy drums, guitar. Fabled British prog rock band Still Mill was formed in Wadsworth, UK, a working class district of South London, during the late 1960s. After singer-keyboardist David Morris began working with saxophonist, flautist John Challenger, who had played with the folk group The Garrett Singers, and Terry Williams on guitar. The initial Mill line-up completed once they were joined by the time Delane Lee Studios to yield a debut LP with rhythm section featured bassist Jeff Watts and drummer Chris the Rat Martin. Green-Eyed God remains an enticing slice of little-known prog, unjustly ignored at its time of creation. Just awesome stuff. Blood Runs Deep is a good one. Treadmill is awesome. And they play saxophone too. That's interesting that you have that in a prog hard rock band. Green-Eyed God. Every song is good. Black Jewel of the Forest is really, really good. But yeah, Green-Eyed God. And even though this is on a different label, I'm pretty sure the original label was purple. And the first pressings are, you might get a playable one in the mid hundreds, $500, $600. You want a really good condition one, $1,000. That's why reissues are key here. But really good stuff, and I hope somebody gets into that. Number 5, an album that the youngest members have subjected you to. So, Dylan the record spinner, and this is the best I can do about this, because unfortunately, I watched a bunch of different videos and I was a little ill prepared for this. However, what I did was, he talked about a band in one of his last vinyl updates called Lilies. They're like a 90s garage band, I guess. Garage punk band. That was really good. That's definitely something I'm going to seek out. And I also wanted to bring attention to something else here. If I can find it. Oh, yes. A little technical difficulties here, folks. Ah, yes. It's in the wrong record. Also, Max Stevens, he has a channel called Max Stevens. He's a rockabilly performer and a record collector and vendor. And he has a really good channel. Go check it out. Go subscribe to it. He lives in Texas and he travels all around that part of the country. Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas. I believe he went down to Tennessee once. I think he went to Kansas to find rare 78s and 45s, specifically from the 20s to the late 60s. Really, if it's into the 70s, he doesn't really do it. Soul, funk, rock and roll, garage, surf, and rockabilly, and doo-wop, and early jazz. But on the Domino label from Houston, I learned about this through his channel, and this is one of my favorite rockabilly singles. The Waddle by the Slades and You Cheated. So, on the Domino label. A really good one that I bought shortly after he told me about it, or after I saw it on his video. So go check that out, and check out Lilies. Okay, so number 6, an album all the members, youngest members have in their collection. I don't know for sure. Now, Queen is one that I think a lot of people got into. I've watched the big record show, or not record show, I watched the big vacation that all the youngest members met up in Nashville, and they were there for about a week or so. And they went to different record stores, and they ate, and definitely something I'd like to do one day. Because none of the people I know, most of the people I know are not interested in records around me. But Pieces of 8 by Styx, 1978. This is a classic album. I was going to pick Crystal Ball from 76, but I decided to do this one because people know this one a little bit better. Blue Collar Man, probably my favorite. It's been overplayed, but still one of my favorite Styx songs. Renegade, everybody knows Renegade. That's been worn out on the radio. And then I'm also going to say The Lord of the Ring. It's a really good one. Pieces of 8, that's a good one too. But, yep, 1978. It's a gatefold, so do that. I know that quite a few of the members like Styx, and I thought that would probably be an album they have. So, number 7, an album I hope to find in St. Louis. So apparently they're going to be going for their next trip to St. Louis for records and food and to hang out and to get together with vinyl community members. However, I went to St. Louis last year, so I'm going to go somewhere else this year. So I guess it kind of pertains to where you're going to, or if you're finding something local or what have you. So I just recently came back from actually tomorrow, which would be Sunday, the 20th. I just came back from the South Bend, Indiana Record Convention. And I didn't find anything that I really wanted to find. Oh, maybe one thing. Most of this was surprising, but I wanted to show you this because this is something I didn't think I'd find in Indiana, of all places. Pretty Maid's first album, 1984, never pressed in America. This is a Scandinavian pressing, printed in Holland. Awesome songs like Back to Back and Red Hot and Heavy. Very thin because it's a European copy. And it's on a CBS, later CBS label. And you got a cool inner sleeve. And then another one thing I want to show is some people I bought some other records from. Rod Dilts. He has, if you're anywhere in the Indiana area and you don't know about this guy, really friendly guy. Lives in Nostalgia, or Nostalgic Nickelodeons. So he gave me a card, so I want to promote that. I want to do it a little bit better, so we can get him some business, because he was pretty cool. I traded him a fairly uncommon doo-wop record, the Chessman Lola from 1961, for a 45 that I bet on my want list. The Champs, which they did the tequila song, you know. Everybody knows Pee Wee Herman, the dance he does on top of the bar. But I traded him that Lola 45 for the Too Much Tequila and 10,000 Leagues. Awesome early 60s rock and roll instrumental. And now one other thing here. I went to a record store the day after I went to the record show in Gossens, Indiana. And I went to the Ignition Music Garage, and I found 145 there, and I bought a couple stickers. I like to put these on my guitar case and on my car. So there's that. And I will be showing my other pickups from the South Bend, Indiana record show on my next video. Number 8, compilation album with multiple different artists. You can't go wrong with some Brown Acid. The 12th Trip, which I just bought, I think in January. Yeah, January. For anybody who doesn't know, now I know a lot of people that watch the youngest members, they know about it. But for anyone that doesn't know, Brown Acid is a compilation that started, I think, 6 or 7 years ago. Compilation series by Riding Easy Records. It collects rare, psychedelic, hard rock, heavy rock, and blues rock for music from all over America, and I think they're even doing some from all over the world. This is my 3rd issue I have. There are 13 I think there's 13 issues, 14 issues, and I was really surprised to find out it wasn't standard black vinyl like my other 2 copies. It was an orange one, so that was a nice surprise. Look at that. It's like a flaming orange with like purple or darker orange in there. Pretty neat stuff. And I always like to give and it's got a nice inner sleeve that came with it. I always like to give a good recommendation. So, let's see. You got bands from Dallas, Texas, San Francisco, Hamilton, Ontario, Louisville, Kentucky. Got 2 from Louisville, Kentucky. Honolulu, Youngstown, Ohio, Carthage, Missouri, all over America, anywhere from 1968 all the way to the early 80s. So 1968 to 81, which they never used to do that late. They usually cut off in the late 70s. But there's some good underground private pressing rock and roll of the heavier variety from the very early 80s. Number 9, favorite release of 2021. That is super easy. Felonious Monk. So, there's a lot to say about this album. At Palo Alto, the Custodians mix. From 1968, Felonious Monk is a jazz pianist, for anyone that doesn't know. On repressing of Prestige. So, in 1968, Felonious Monk was pretty well known. However, this has never been released until 2021. And it is a gatefold, but I'm keeping the plastic on, at least for now. There. Let's see if we can zoom in on that, and if you can read it, and if you can't, I'm sorry, and I'll explain it. 1968, he played at Palo Alto, California High School, in a high school in Palo Alto, California, and it was not recorded, or so people thought. In very recent years, they found out that a custodian had a reel-to-reel tape machine, and he recorded it. So, kind of like a bootleg, but a high-quality one. And the people that repressed this, which is UME and Verve, and Rhythm Unning Entertainment, they did an awesome job. Awesome job. I'll show you that. And there's more. There's much more, because this is a very historic album that's never been released to the public until this past year. You got a promo poster advertising it back in a reproduction, 1968. And this record's still fairly affordable. It's not $100 yet. I got it for $25, and it's a little bit less. It's about that price. You got a book. I think this is it. And I like to put my stickers, put my hype stickers on there. Tells you the story of this classic, not known at the time, recording. This live performance that was just that. It was only supposed to be live. There wasn't supposed to be any recording of it. So it's really, really cool that somebody dug that up. Or that the custodian or his family told the public about it. Really cool. There you go. There's that. This should be... I thought there was something else. But, nope. Oh, wait a minute. There's another thing. Yes. This is so lovingly done. This is so lovingly done. It's amazing. A program. So you got a program. Just like what would have come out in 1968. 2 p.m. Sunday, October 27th, 1968, at Palo Alto High School in California. This is amazing. Amazing. It's a labor of love, this thing. That they would do it down to the very details. Somebody found this information on this. So, I thought that was pretty cool. Really awesome stuff. This is going to be a bit of a longer video. I probably need to take the shrink off. So that was number... Oops. That was number 9. Favorite release of 2021. A showcase, a colored or picture disc. Also from that same record store day. 35th anniversary. 34th, 36th anniversary. Of the Goonies. But now the Goonies soundtrack with Cyndi Lauper and different popular artists that were on that record was released in 1985, around the time of the movie. But this is the score. And picture discs, this sounds really good. I haven't had any surface noise. So they're doing better on this now. There's One-Eyed Willie on one side. There's the kids in the back. So really good score music, kind of like classical. But I decided not to use this as classical. So that's the Goonies, 1985 film score. $11. A record with a purple on the cover. I did 2 of these. Frank Sinatra, Frankie. I'm not a huge Frank Sinatra fan, but this is a lot of his 40s, 30s, and 40s stuff that I really like. Before he was still a crooner, but he was a little bit more jazzy at this point. Original, 1955 pressing. This was an awesome find. 6i. And anybody who's new to vinyl that likes Frank Sinatra or wants to get into the 40s crooners, jazz, big band, swing type music, 6i was just Columbia Records from the late mid-50s, very early 60s. And they're so special because they're very thick and the grooves are deeper, so the sound is more rich, from what I understand. Number 12, oh yes, another one. I wanted to show another one. I wanted to show another. Fortune. They're known for Stacy. Those songs right there. Really good 80s hard rock, kind of got some synth in there, but on the more heavier side. And it's on MCA. It's on a Rainbow MCA, but it's on a label that you don't see much. I got this at the Columbus, Ohio Record Show in 2008, and I've never come across a copy since. I guess it's not common. It's a German record. It's on Camel, which is really weird. MCA Rainbow on Camel from also, 1985. Thrill of It All. Bad Blood, Stacy, Dearborn Station. We'll do that. Then I'm going to do something out of the ordinary, as if I haven't already. I'm also going to show a different format that the youngest members may not be into, that I have recently dove headfirst into. So, that was number 12. That was a number 11. A song with a name in the title. I have 3 because I just thought these were all really good. You could say Stacy, but that wasn't the one I was going to do. So first off, we're going to go the oldest. This is old stuff, very fragile. You look at it the wrong way and it breaks. But on Specialty Records from 1947. Camille's Boogie by Roy Milton and True Blues. You have to have a special needle to play these to make it sound good. But that's Camille's Boogie. You should look up her if you like saxophone and really good bluesy vocals. That's always good. But the singer, Camille, or the song, the woman that the song's about, Camille Howard. You should look her up too. And then Run Joe. Oh, this is a double on Decca from 1948. Louis Jordan, who's an awesome saxophone player. If you want to get into the world of early rock and roll and rhythm and blues, Louis Jordan predates Chuck Berry, predates Little Richard. They were directly inspired by him. His mannerisms, the way he sang, the way his energy, all that kind of thing. Run Joe Run and All for the Love of Lil. So that's a double-sider. So that's it. I know those are super old records. They're very fragile. But I wanted to show that. And then a little bit more modern. Iron Maiden. First album. This is the repress. With Paul Di'Anno. Would be a pretty well known one. Charlotte the Harlot. Right there. Number 13, an album with a Cheap Trick connection. I don't know a lot about Cheap Trick. However, I did my best for this. So, this is Stars. They're from Detroit. Gene Simmons helped produce their albums, at least the first one. They were not really well known. They're getting a little bit better known now. Can't You See I'm a Star? Now I Can. Boys in Action. They did, I think, 4 different records in the mid-70s to the early 80s. Gene Simmons produced that. And they're on Capitol. And I believe that Cheap Trick, don't quote me on this, but I believe Cheap Trick was on Capitol. And as you're going to find out later, Cheap Trick is from Rockford, Illinois. Kiss wrote a song called Detroit City, which is in Illinois. Kiss produced this Stars album. And like I said, I'm pretty sure that they were on the same label at one point. Number 14. 2 albums that sound great back to back. 1978. Judas Priest. Stay in Class. Beyond the Realms of Death, White Heat, Red Hot, Better By You, Better Than Me, Invader, Exciter, awesome stuff, classic 360, Columbia Records, which I believe they haven't changed. That label has been like that since the early 70s. 1979, Hellbent for Leather, or I think it was called Running Wild in the UK. Hellbent for Leather, Delivering the Goods, Rock Forever, that's my personal favorite. Green Manalishi with a two-pronged horn, two-pronged crown, Killing Machine, Running Wild. I didn't say that already. Not getting very good light here. Also on that classic Columbia 360. 15. Shout out to a favorite local record store. Pop's Resale. Been in the business since 1996. I've been going for just about 10 years. Pop's a great guy. He always will help you, give you recommendations. There's also Tyler and Jason. Tyler and Jason. They're helpers of his. They've been with him for a long time. He's the second oldest record store in the area. There's also CD Central with Steve. A really good CD Central's more for modern vinyl, even though they sell new stuff. I always find my best finds at Pop's. I found those 78s there. I found at least one of these Judas Priest albums. It's good stuff. Pop's Resale. Records, tapes, CDs, VHS tapes, costume clothing, leather jackets, all kinds of cool retro stuff. So that was number 15. Showcase the bootleg. I've only got one. This is totally by mistake. The Chocolate Watch Band from 1967. No Way Out. Kind of creepy. Are you gonna be there at the Love-In? Let's Talk About Girls, Midnight Hour. Some of that's cover stuff. So I thought this was an original. I bought this in Louisville, Kentucky at I can't remember the name of the record store. But in 2018, for Record Store Day, I thought this was an original or a repress. But it turns out, because it's shinier and thinner sleeve, it told me that it is a Discog told me that it's a bootleg. But this sounds really, really good. Good psychedelic garage rock there. '17. Favorite album by your favorite band. I'm a huge Scorpions fan, especially their 70s stuff. I grew up with their 80s stuff, but their 70s stuff is even better. So if you haven't checked out anything earlier than their 80s, Rock You Like a Hurricane, check out their 70s and early 80s stuff. In a Trance by the Scorpions, 1975. Every song on here. Also, gold label promo stamp. That was a good find. A little bit rough. Sounds good. Early RCA. Later RCA brown label, which is really strange, but every song is good on here. Robot Man, Dark Lady, In Trance, Life's Like a River. You gotta listen to that song, Life's Like a River. Living and Dying, Top of the Bill, Evening Wind, Sun in My Hand, Longing for the Fire, and Night Lights. And this is before Michael Schenker had already left the group. It was Uli John Roth on there. 1975. Awesome album. If you don't know about early Scorpions, this was their third album. Check it out. It's a little bit psychedelic, but it's on the more heavier side. That was number 17. Number 18. Favorite inspirational lyric. I had difficulty with this because I didn't have much time to come up with it. But this is a really good funk album from '81. They were from Xavier. They were from Connecticut, I believe. Yeah, they were from Connecticut. Anybody, Mr. Hall of Fame, I know you really like funk. You should check out this album if you don't know about it. It's awesome. They did have MTV exposure on that 80s Liberty label. And what they had there was Work That Sucker to Death and let's see. Do It to the Max. They have music videos. So they were not that well unknown, but nobody ever talks about these guys. Awesome kind of P-Funk, synthy, but still really funky. So the favorite lyric is from the third song on the first album, first side, Dial the Love Man, 634-5789. And it talks about him breaking up with his girl and trying to comfort another girl who... Oh no, he comforted another girl that broke up with her man. And she's discouraged and doesn't know what to do. She's really sad. So he says... Oh no, and he says... Sometimes you lose what you want just to get what you want. Just to get what you need. And I think that's a great lyric. Especially for disappointments, whether it's relationships or whatever it may be, or jobs falling through. '19 favorite piece of classical music. I've only got mostly soundtracks, but I do have this. And I'm going to make sure this video is getting kind of long, so I'm going to try to speed through it, but still be somewhat detailed. Rimsky-Korsakov, Antar Opera 9th Symphonic Suite. I'll just read that. 1949, the 33 RPM format was released in the early 30s, but due to the Great Depression, they just have a few demonstration records, and they just kind of let it fall by the wayside because most record labels didn't even survive the 1930s Great Depression. But this is special because, for two reasons. 1949, this is one of the first 33 RPM public release discs that wasn't a promotional release. 1948. Or 1949. Yeah, 1948, 1949. So they're one of the first releases of music on a new format, and then the 45 came out a year later. And then we have this weird punch card. This is what I love about finding old records. They have all kinds of stories. Now, why is there a computer library punch card? Grant Douglas, Purpose and Place. It says Library of Congress on it. I don't know if this is from the Library of Congress. It'd be kind of cool if it was. It has something written on the back. But it's so cool to find that. It's an early punch card from a mainframe computers before computers were desktops. It took up a whole room. I mean, it was like a giant TV, like those old big flat screens. So, just about wrapping it up here. 20 best song in the last 10 years. It's 2022. This came out in 2015. The White Album by Weezer. This was a really good return to their roots. California Kids. I like that one the best. And The Wind in Our Sails. It's an awesome song too. Kind of can't see it very well. And I got an interesting sticker that came with it. So there's that. Best song in the last 10 years. And the bonus. This is going to take a bit. Bonus question. Connect Johnny Cash, Queen, Kiss, Cheap Trick, and Zappa all together. What's something they have in common? What's something that connects them? This is a little bit vague because I did some research. I did quite a bit of research, but it's I'm not sure how well it fits. But it'll be interesting anyway. Johnny Cash played the Conrad Theater in Rockford, Illinois on July the 27th, 1962. Cheap Trick are from Rockford, Illinois. There's that. On August 13th and 14th, 1982, Queen played the Poplar Creek Music Theater in Aurora, Illinois. That's a Wayne's World reference there. I know that's not the same thing, but it's an hour from Rockford, Illinois. It's the best I can come up with there. Kiss performed at the Metro Center in January 22nd of 1986 and October 20th, 2016 on the Freedom to Rock concert or tour, which is they're all approximately 30 minutes to an hour and a half from Rockford, Illinois. Frank Zappa performed at the Auditorium Theater in Chicago, Illinois, at Roosevelt University on November 24th, 1976. 1 hour and 30 minutes for Rockford, Illinois. So I hope that worked. Those are the favorite 5 different groups. Those are each member of the youngest members of the VC's favorite artist. So that's what that is. So with that, at 45 minutes, I hope you enjoyed. This video was long overdue, but I enjoyed doing the research. Go check out Dylan, the record spinner. I don't know all the names of his channels. I have looked them up. They kind of escape my mind. Marikan Leachman, I think her name is. And just check out the different channels. I know that Dylan and then Marikan have the links to their other friends' channels. So I hope everybody's doing great. Explore every day. Do it with music. Josiah out.